Not the time yet. A near-death experience one. The unexpected stroke. When I realized death was near, I am 75 years old, having experienced the ups and downs of life, witnessing the passing of my parents, siblings, and my beloved wife. But I never thought I would come so close to the boundary between life and death so suddenly. That day was a peaceful autumn afternoon. I sat in the garden, sipping a cup of hot tea, watching my grandchildren run and play on the grass. Their laughter echoed through the garden, blending with the birdsong, creating a strangely serene scene. But in just a blink of an eye, everything changed. A sharp pain, like a knife piercing through my chest. I froze, my hands trembling, dropping the teacup to the ground. It felt as if an invisible hand was squeezing my heart, making my breathing labored. Sweat beaded on my forehead, and my vision blurred. I tried to stand up, but my legs had lost their strength. The world around me spun, and the sounds around me began to fade. "Dad! Dad!" I heard my son's panicked voice calling out. But I could not respond. My entire body sank into endless darkness. Between two worlds. The encounter beyond. I do not know how long I was unconscious. But the next thing I remember is that I was no longer in my garden. I opened my eyes and found myself standing in a completely different place, a vast field of flowers stretching endlessly. White, purple, and yellow blossoms swayed gently in the cool breeze. The sky was a perfect blue, and the warm sunlight embraced me. I felt no pain anymore. My body felt weightless, freer than ever before. And then I saw her, my wife, the woman who had walked beside me through all the years, yet had left me 10 years ago. She stood there looking younger, healthier, no longer bearing the exhaustion of her final years. The floral dress she loved fluttered in the wind, and she smiled at me, just as she always had. I was stunned. "Is that you?" I whispered, my voice trembling. She nodded, stepped closer, and placed her hand on my cheek, just like she used to whenever I was tired. I could feel the familiar warmth, the one I had lost for 10 years. "I missed you so much." I reached out to embrace her, but she gently stepped back, her gaze affectionate yet firm. "Not the time yet." 3. A message from the other side. I froze, unable to understand what she meant. "But I have waited for this day for 10 years. I want to stay with you." She looked at me for a long moment, then shook her head slightly. "You still have things to do. Your children and grandchildren still need you. When the time comes, I will wait for you. But for now, you must go back." "But I am already too old," I said, my voice choked with emotion. She smiled, her eyes filled with love, but unwavering in her decision. "Live. Just live. Live to love. Live to remember. Live so that one day, when the time truly comes, you can step over here without regrets." I lowered my head, tears streaming down my face, but deep inside, I suddenly felt a strange sense of peace. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind swept through, pulling me backward. I tried to hold on to the image of her, but everything began to fade. Goodbye, but not forever. Everything disappeared. 4. Returning from the brink of death. I opened my eyes, this time in a stark white hospital room. The bright lights on the ceiling stung my eyes. The beeping of machines filled the air. I heard my son's choked voice. "Dad! Dad, you are awake!" I nodded slightly, feeling my heartbeat returning to normal. The doctor told me that I had been clinically dead for almost 3 minutes, and they had barely managed to save me. But I knew. She had sent me back. 5. how my life changed. After that moment, from that day on, I lived differently. I no longer fear death because I know that death is not the end, but simply another journey. I cherish every remaining moment. I spend more time talking with my children and grandchildren, telling them things I had never said before. I learned to forgive and love more. I called an old friend with whom I'd been estranged for 20 years. We met up, had coffee, and reminisced about the past. I started keeping a journal, recording memories and life lessons for my children and grandchildren. Because I understand that one day when I truly leave, a part of me will still remain with them. And I am grateful for life, because I still have the chance to see the sun rise, to hear the laughter of my grandchildren, to feel the warmth of the afternoon sun. I do not know when I will truly depart, but I know that now is not the time. 6. Final thoughts. Live fully while you can. If you are reading this story, perhaps you have also wondered, what happens after death? Is there someone waiting for us on the other side? I cannot answer with certainty, but I do know one thing. Death is not what we should fear. What is truly frightening is not living fully before it arrives. If you still have time, spend it with those you love. Cherish every moment because we never know when it will be the last. And if one day you find yourself standing at the threshold between life and death, remember, it may not be the time yet,